Hello YouTube and welcome back to Psychology Everyday 64. I've realized that I gotta get some more curtains in here because it's kind of, echoey. But today I have a question from the app Threads, and I basically posted, a vote on what people would like to see, and it was about dating. So the alternative, that is problems with modern dating one. And uh, modern dating has a lot of problems, but one of the biggest problems that is modern and that is a problem in dating is, of course, social media. And what it has done is sort of let you know about the grass on the other side. Now, um, most of the time, if not all of the time, the grass is not greener on the other side, but constantly getting pictures of it shoved in your face or invitations might make you question your own relationship and, sort of be critical of the people in your life. And this in itself is a huge problem because as soon as you look for flaws in the people around you and people that you date, you're gonna find plenty, more than you can count actually, because all humans are so flawed that if you focus on these things, you will never run out of things to notice. I'm going to talk about chess in another video, but I just have to talk about it a little bit today. Chess is such an amazing activity to learn from. And one of the things that we have learned from chess is that, it's one of the, if not the hardest sport to get to the top in, because of how many people are practicing chess, and also how much the people in chess practice chess. They think about it all the time, from when they wake up to when they go to bed. And a lot of people have very, very good access to chess and chess information. And then you have, the entire nation of India, where, half of the people are, obsessed by chess, as well as China. So it is the peak of difficulty is in chess. It's even harder than soccer. It's harder than MMA. If you are the best in the world at chess, you are at a peak that no one else um, comes close to. And what computers have shown us, that the best human in the hardest sport, Magnus Carlsen, uh, if you compare him to perfect execution and perfect decision making, he's trash. Which means that the best guy, the best person that we have, constantly makes errors and has flaws. So if you're a normal person, you probably have more flaws than you have things that are right. And it's very hard for us to see this because it wasn't obvious until it was measured. Humans are just super duper flawed and we make mistakes all of the time. So if you get presented with, this sort of perfect picture when it comes to social media, but also way too many alternatives, it's going to make you dissatisfied with reality and your life. And, um, I'll just straight up advise it for sure. Just delete all social media and spend time in reality. We all know this is true, that the 90s were just way better in a lot of ways when it comes to a lot of things, and yet we still scroll on social media. I have every social media because I'm trying to, have fun with building a YouTube brand, but I never look at it. I just post. Sorry. Sorry to everyone. There is, science and studies done that we feel at best when we have like 3 choices to pick between from. So if you go to the store and you want to buy lemonade or ice cream or whatever, if you have 3 choices and you pick the thing that you like the most, you will be most satisfied with the result, compared to if there is only one sort of ice cream. God damn, this fucking computer sounds so much. Compared to if there's only like one sort of ice cream, or if there's 35 types. Both of these will feel less good. I'm just gonna put this computer someplace. And the same is true for people, of course. If you feel like you have 1,000 to pick between, then maybe 100 will seem like really good choices, and whatever you pick, you will have some sort of anxiety in you about what about the other 99. Maybe one of them is better because this person that I'm with has all these flaws. And it's a game that you can't win, because you have to focus on the positive things in people. And it's so much better to sort in dating when it comes to, not only like values and shared goals, which is super important. You have to be, if you're a religious person, you have to be with a religious person. If you want kids, you have to be with someone that has kids. And if you're very politically inclined, you should be with someone on the same side. But I learned that it's more about deal breakers, honestly, and using your head instead of your emotion if you want a long-term relationship. Of course, you have to really like someone and there has to be some sort of spark, I guess. But going off the spark and going off the feelings and the vibes, it is super stupid. And I really mean this. And some people are going to wildly, protest this, but they're wrong and they're stupid. Because feelings will change, and you will change, and that person will change, and your situation will change, especially if you have kids, and especially if time goes by. And, those underlying realities will be presented in another way, because that spark is meant to create a fire. And if there's no fuel for the fire, and if there's no use for the fire, it's just not good. So, choose with your head, and filter with your head. And then out of the options that fits you, logically and rationally, if you can find a spark there, then that's who you go for. But don't, and I'm telling you, don't go first and foremost off the vibe and the feelings. And I can talk about this from a Jungian shadow perspective for 1.5 hours. This is not just some guy talking about just be logical, just be rational, don't be stupid. I'm telling you, don't do it for many, many, many reasons. Other problems with modern dating is the connectivity. So, this might be controversial, but I don't care. We all have for forever thought about women as the gatekeepers to procreation. So, the old classic one is that a female is a lock. I'm gonna paint it for you. And the guy is a key. So here we go. painting it for clarity. And I know this video is a bit low tempo, but that's life. Women are locks, men are keys. That is why a virtuous woman will say no to every guy and not sleep around, and guys get praised for sleeping around and being a great key. And of course, this has changed a lot in Sweden, not everywhere by any means necessary, but it is also become a huge problem with this change and switch up because of how men and women value each other differently. We're not going to go into the whole why that is, or the results of that is, but it is a huge problem. And one of the biggest problems that you can connect to social media is that it's always been the case that guys are sort of trying to pick up women, and women filter, and they say no, and they say no, and they say no, and then they say yes. But the thing is, when it's local, sort of balances out. So say you live in a town with 5,000 people, maybe there's in your sort of dating pool, there's 50 or 100 guys and the same amount of women. So all of these guys go to these women and they go, pick me, pick me. And some of them get picked and they end up in relationships, and the other guys sadly do not get picked, except, then they move, or, whatever. It just fits. It's like a puzzle. The problems with social media is that you have all of these guys who do not get picked first draft, so to speak, 70% of the guys or whatever. And then they go on social media and then they write a message that they copy and paste, or maybe it's just hello, and they send this, or it's a compliment, right? And they send this to 1,000 women, and each of these guys do this, which means that every woman has 1,000 guys in her DMs being like, hey, how are you? You look beautiful. Do you want to get married? I'll do anything. Which of course becomes super problematic for the women, because they get too many options, and they're all, they get overwhelmed. This is not biologically natural. It is crazy, as ordinary women, to have so many options and so many guys being like, interested in them. And it's almost impossible to not think too highly of yourself, but also get, full satisfied even on, appreciation and stuff like that, to the point where you don't even appreciate comments or nice gestures or attention anymore. And makes it so it's so much harder to form a good attachment and a relationship with some guy, because that need is already too much satisfied, and you become immune to all of these things. And these are some of the problems with modern dating. Let me know in the comments what you think. These are just, my opinions. And please like and subscribe. Have a great day, everyone.